I got this question from a subscriber basically asking where to start as a copywriter, the best way to get started. She said, "Hi, Roy. During this COVID-19 pandemic, I've spent a great amount of time evaluating and reevaluating my life and where I want to go from here. I keep seeing copywriting everywhere I turn, like making me do double, triple takes, so I'm taking it as a sign and diving into a brand new endeavor. I'm at the barely getting my feet wet stage, have a couple of courses I'm considering, and just came across your website. I guess my main question would be, where do you suggest I start?" Scarlett. And you can't see totally yet, but I have a stack of books in front of me. And I actually have also included a link where I have a list of all of these books in the description with this video. My best recommendation. Now, of course, it's great for me to recommend on a completely selfish basis that you should sign up for my BTMS Insiders, which is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets Insiders training library. There's over 100 hours of training on direct response, copywriting, and business building that is all focused on making you a better business builder from my experience as a direct response copywriter and consultant. And I think there's a ton of value there, but I also think that you can get a ton of value by first and foremost, like covering the basics with these books. So just really quickly going to go through here. First off, I do recommend this book. It's The Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid. It's my book. I will give it to you for free if you cover the cost of shipping and handling. And I highly recommend it because this is about how to actually make a living as a copywriter, as opposed to just the skills. And it's a quick read. It's short. You can usually finish it in one sitting, but it's really just focused on, okay, if you're really just focused on how to make this copywriting thing pay off, like how to turn what you're learning in terms of the skills into income. That's what this is all about. I recommend Scientific Advertising. This is actually my life in advertising and scientific advertising combined in one. This is by one of the original superstar copywriters, Claude Hopkins, all about advertising that has to pay for itself in terms of the response that it generates. Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. One of the biggest breakthroughs in advertising is the market awareness spectrum and adjusting your advertising messaging based on the awareness that is that your market is at, that your specific prospect is at. Great Leads talks about translating breakthrough advertising's principle of the market awareness spectrum into very specific types of leads that are the beginning of an effective advertisement. Tested Advertising Methods by John Caples. John Caples in the middle of the 20th century was one of the biggest, most dogged proponents of testing your advertising and seeing does this work better or does this work better? And his lessons are in there. How to Write a Good Advertisement, a short course in copywriting. Really basic fundamental book on what makes for effective copywriting, but absolutely recommended because you need the basics. The Robert Collier Letter Book. This is a very old book. And Robert Collier was actually somebody who made a living in copywriting during the Great Depression. He has some great stories in here about discovering what works, what doesn't work. But what I think is most powerful about this is looking at some of the things that he was doing during the Great Depression that currently are being taught by top gurus today. Gary Halbert got his idea for the dollar bill letter straight out of this book written about what worked in the Great Depression. Method Marketing by Denny Hatch. This is not very well known, but it is. I actually discovered it because I wanted to write a book called Method Marketing, which is about what an actor does, which is method acting, getting in the head of the character. You want to get in the head of your prospect, of your customer, and really understand them at a really deep level. What I love about this book is it tells a bunch of stories of people who were professional marketers and copywriters and how they created marketing that worked, but also a bunch of people who were not professional copywriters, some people who were writing their very first sales letter or appeal, who just because they got in the head of the person that they were writing to, made a huge success out of their advertisement. The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy. This list wouldn't be complete without at least one book from Dan Kennedy. This is really just about, it's Dan's method, start to finish, of writing a powerful direct response sales letter with a ton of great lessons in it. 80/20 sales and marketing. This gets more into the sales and marketing strategy, but the 80/20 principle as it applies to sales and marketing will help you really understand how to not just make the most in terms of response now, but how to create the most successful campaigns and businesses around copywriting. And that's a super powerful skill. And Jay Abraham's Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got. Another just incredible book that is about, well, he says 21 ways you can outthink, outperform, and out-earn the competition. That is about way more than just copywriting. Again, it's strategy for getting everything you can out of all you've got from the mind of somebody who has been incredibly successful in direct marketing, full of great stories about that. So my recommendation for where to start as a copywriter, this pile of books is a great idea, but what you should do is you should find like a good collection of books that inspire you, that capture your attention, or resources that capture you, inspire your attention, and try and pick up as many different lessons from the different places and see where people overlap and where they integrate. Like, for example, you're always going to find advertisers, copywriters, any sort of teaching around that, talking about you need to get somebody's attention. You need to grab their attention and you need to hold on to it right out of the gate. Typically that's with the headline, but it can be about more than just the headline. You need to figure out ways to build their interest in your message. You need to tell a compelling story. You need to link it to their current interest, the interest that they already have. You need to find ways to support the desire for your product, to stimulate desire for your product, your offer, and you typically do that through making compelling promises, writing compelling copy that's about them, about their current desires, and doing a great job of proving that your product, your service is going to pay off in terms of that, and getting them to take action. You really need to understand offers and how to get people to actually take action through effective offers. And so that will include things like pricing presentation, guarantee, how you package a product or service, how you present the packaging, and more. And then that's going to translate also into writing order forms and that sort of thing. But ultimately, when you are talking about copywriting, one of the most important lessons that I can give you, and this actually comes out of my book, which is now on the bottom of this pile, is that you should focus on the copy that is the closest to the sale or the measurable business result, because that is what is by far the most valuable copy to a business. So your any business or client that you might work with, they are going to be they're going to have a ton of content needs. But if you're writing like technical manuals for a business, that is inherently going to be a fairly low value skill versus being able to bring in the customers who purchase the product that needs the technical manual, because the customers that purchase that product drive the need for the technical manual. And the closer that your copy is to the sale, the more that you are actually getting people to take action as a result of the words that you put down that are translated into, print media, digital media, multimedia content, video, audio, etc. The more effective you are at getting your words to move people towards the purchase decision, the better. And so I have always focused, and I always tell people to focus on the copy that is closest to the sale, whether that's generating very specific leads. So if you are working with businesses that actually start a client relationship on the phone, it's getting those people to get on the phone call. Or if you're working with businesses like the publishers that I've worked with for years who sell directly through the internet, then your job is to figure out how to write copy that gets people to actually make that purchase decision just as a result of reading your copy. So that's my recommendation. I know this is a big book list, and some of these are fairly expensive, like Breakthrough Advertising is a $100 book. It turns out that method marketing has become much more rare and in demand since I bought it, and that's now more than $50, $60, $80, maybe even to grab a copy. But all of these are incredibly valuable books. And the more that you can dive in and figure out what lots of people are doing and how they're all teaching the same lessons in slightly different ways. And the more that you can internalize that and integrate it into whatever your unique approach is going to be as a copywriter, the better. I don't know. What do you think? Like, check out the link to the books in the description. Also, I'll include a link to BTMS Insiders, which is my training library where you get training on marketing, copywriting, business building, selling, and more. And let me know what you think. Are there books that I missed? Is there a recommendation that I missed? You can throw those in the comments. Also, make sure that you click that like button before you go so the magical algorithms of the internet know to share more content like this with you, and also to share this content with more people who are like you, who would get value from it. If you have somebody you'd like to share it with them directly, I strongly encourage you to do so, and subscribe. If you're not yet subscribed here, you can do that. You can also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com and get my daily emails Monday through Friday covering marketing, copywriting, business building, selling, and more. I'm Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I hope you've gotten a ton of value, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video. See you soon. Bye.